The new Brave Arsenal Hammerhead machine gun has been out a hot minute, and here are the things that you can do with it. First off, we went through a few of the rolls recently in a video, but now I wanted to show a few off and see some of the actual insane synergies that have come up with this reprised Black Armory legend. Now obviously the one that everyone's going for is Rampage in that third column with some form of other damage boosting perk in that final column, but that's not the first one that we're talking about today because it's Rewind Rounds along with Onslaught. Now this thing is an absolute monster for ad clear. Rewind Rounds is going to refill 60% of the magazine based on the number of hits that you've landed, and then with Onslaught then that is also going to increase the rate of fire with this weapon. Now the rate of fire increase on Onslaught does stack up to 3 times, and at a 3 times stack you will get a 37% decrease in the firing delay, which massively improves its rate of fire and just turns this into an absolute shredding machine. Now the rate of fire is bumped up to about 540-600 rounds per minute there or thereabouts, and it's just actually insane. Now obviously this is an adaptive frame, 450 rounds per minute, but it's going to boost it up to near on pretty much what would feel like a rapid fire frame, and obviously the Hammerhead is an absolute stat monster, so compared to favourites in that rapid fire archetype, then this thing is just basically the best machine gun in the game. And if you manage to get a Rewind Rounds with Onslaught roll, then you're going to be laying waste to ads, and arguably potentially better than the Rampage Killing Tally or the Rampage Desperate Measures roll that everyone has been spouting on about. I've been absolutely loving this one. Obviously if you do get a roll like this with Rewind Rounds and Onslaught, then I would highly recommend putting a backup mag on because you're absolutely gonna tear through your ammo. Machine guns, they're not really focused on DPS at the minute, they're just not there in terms of that, but they are awesome for high level ad clear, dealing with yellow bars, champions, and the upcoming legendary campaign in the final shape. The Hammerhead is going to be one that you're going to want to use, and if you're using it to clear up ads in squeaky bum time moments, then obviously I think one with Onslaught and potentially Rewind Rounds or Envious Assassin is going to hold you in good stead. If you do get one of these and you're still struggling to get one of the double damage dealing perk rolls, then I think this one is definitely a keeper. Now moving on from that one and staying away from the double damage dealing perks because they are doing all the rounds at the minute, I want to talk about Destabilising Rounds. Now this is one that we don't see very often in that third column, so getting it on the Hammerhead is very unique and I think it's one that you should be chasing. Now I've got this one with Desperate Measures in that third column, so we're going to be potentially getting up to a 30% damage boost on subsequent final blows with this weapon, and with the Hammerhead being a void weapon there's tons of synergy which we're just about to get into. Obviously you can keep that one rolling, it's a base 10% damage boost at a 1-time stack, and then you're going to need a grenade or melee final blow to take it up to a 20% damage boost, and then another grenade or melee final blow to take it up to that 3-time stack and that 30% damage boost, and then any final blow with the weapon within that 7-second timer will keep that Desperate Measures damage boost going, and it's really easy to do, especially if you're spraying and playing with something like Destabilising Rounds. Now this has got tons of void subclass synergy, you're going to be turning lots of enemies volatile and spreading that volatile explosions to nearby enemies. There's tons of stuff that you can work there with fragments and getting Devour rolling and stuff like that, but I think the main thing that it really boils down to is how it works just so nicely with the origin trait. Now Indomitability is going to give you 5% grenade energy back on light subclass final blows, and it's going to give you 5% melee energy back on darkness subclass final blows. So there's tons of synergy there depending on what subclass you're playing, and I really think if you're leaning into light subclasses then the grenades are absolutely insane, whether that's an arc, void or solar grenade. That's going to really help you get Desperate Measures rolling. I think it's a slept on combo with these Brave Arsenal weapons, the Desperate Measures and the Origin Trait combo. But one of the main things that I've been rolling with this one is just the absolute void madness synergy that you can go with it. Obviously if you're running a void subclass and you're on a warlock, then you're going to want to look at Verity's Brow, because energy weapon kills that match your subclass type are going to massively increase the damage of your grenade and grant you grenade energy. Now obviously you're going to want them boosted grenades to get desperate measures rolling. Because of the void synergy with Hammerhead, you're going to get grenade energy back, and it's just an absolute win-win. So if you're on a warlock, chuck your void subclass on, chuck your Hammerhead on, and along with the origin trait on that one, and along with any of the other ones, I mean, I've chucked on the base forbearance from the quest and also a midnight coup, and just rolling around getting that 5% grenade energy back is just going to double down on everything that's good with the Hammerhead. But one of the main little quirks that I've found with this build, with this machine gun, is the fact that Desperate Measures actually has a ton of synergy with the Strand subclass on the Warlock with the Broodweaver. Now, one of the main ones that I run, and it probably is not any secret, but if you run it with the Shackle Grenade and then a Mind Spun Invocation so that you consume your Shackle Grenade and activate Weaver's Trance, any final blow with this weapon is then going to create a suspending detonation. Them suspending detonations are going to suspend nearby enemies. Any of them enemies that are suspended are going to count as grenade final blows. So if you consume your grenade and then you shoot one enemy, set off that chain reaction to suspend everything then is going to be count as a grenade final blow. So you only need to take out 2 of them enemies that are suspended. There's no further grenades going on, and you will be instantly at a 3-time stack of Desperate Measures and that 30% damage boost. Now that's why I think that the Hammerhead is just going to be insane for ad clear. Obviously you're going to need that Desperate Measures perk in the final column, but that's what I think opens it up to your own playstyle, whether you go with that Destabilising Rounds version or whether you go with something that's going to boost that magazine size with Rewind Rounds or Envious Assassin, or even if you just go for the good old double damage dealing perks with Rampage, Desperate Measures, anything like that. It's going to be absolutely insane for ad clear because you're going to be able to boost up that Desperate Measures and get that 30% damage boost super easy. And I think it's probably just a little bit of a thing, like I say, that's going under the radar, and Desperate Measures really stands out on this Hammerhead machine gun. Now I'll leave the builds down below in the comments and down in the description for you. Again, I just wanted to go with a little bit of a chilled out version and just break down what I've been doing with my new Hammerhead rolls and just showing it off and hopefully getting a little bit of a discussion down in the comments and whatnot, and just seeing, you know, what other people think of it. But all in all, the returning Hammerhead has far exceeded my expectations, and it is quite frankly incredible. So I hope you liked this quick little breakdown of the most iconic Black Armory machine gun in Destiny 2. As always, your ongoing support is greatly appreciated. If you've been here before, consider subscribing or even joining our fellow members to get some bonus goodies to show off in the comments. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one, which you can click right here.